The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine or idealism. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. There's no coming to consciousness without pain. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. Whatever is rejected from the self, appears in the world as an event. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking, the one is the shadow of the other. Shame is a soul-eating emotion. The best political, social, and spiritual work we can do is to withdraw the projection of our shadow onto others. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it. The reason for evil in the world is that people are not able to tell their stories. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. Every human life contains a potential. If that potential is not fulfilled, then that life was wasted. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. I must also have a dark side if I am to be whole. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. There can be no transforming of darkness into light and of apathy into movement without emotion. Find out what a person fears most and that is where he will develop next. Words are animals, alive with a will of their own. Every mother contains her daughter in herself and every daughter her mother, and every mother extends backwards into her mother and forwards into her daughter. If the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. The sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. For better to come, good must stand aside. We have forgotten the age-old fact that God speaks chiefly through dreams and visions. Man cannot stand a meaningless life. Had I left those images hidden in the emotions, I might have been torn to pieces by them. Sentimentality is a superstructure covering brutality. Psychological or spiritual development always requires a greater capacity for anxiety and ambiguity. One of the main functions of organized religion is to protect people against a direct experience of God. I thought perhaps she was crazy, but she was only highly intuitive. The world will ask who you are, and if you do not know, the world will tell you. The true leader is always led. The bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes. My whole being was seeking for something still unknown which might confer meaning upon the banality of life. Nobody, as long as he moves among the chaotic currents of life, is without trouble. It all depends on how we look at things, and not how they are in themselves. Life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. The majority of my patients consisted not of believers but of those who had lost their faith. People don't have ideas. Ideas have people. The fool is the precursor to the savior. I don't aspire to be a good man, I aspire to be a whole man. Faith, hope, love, and insight are the highest achievements of human effort. They are found given by experience. Often the hands will solve a mystery that the intellect has struggled with in vain. Intuition does not denote something contrary to reason, but something outside of the province of reason. When religion stops talking about animals, it will be all downhill. We can keep from a child all knowledge of earlier myths, but we cannot take from him the need for mythology. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe,